Hey, everybody, how you doing? Woo! Welcome to PHLY Flyers Postgame, presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use code PHLY365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Yeah, this is a Sabres postgame show today. Congrats.
We're Sabres fans
Congrats to the Buffalo Sabres. Now, my name's Bill Matz. I am your director of fun and games. This is Broad Street Hockey's own Kelly Hinkle. And the Flyers did it today, and they get some help from Buffalo as well. What a game. They give up 7 goals to the Chicago Blackhawks, lose 7-4 in regulation.
Yeah.
And the Buffalo Sabres, who have a few games in hand on the Flyers, beat the freaking Jets in regulation. That is huge for the Tank, and we will, of course, get to Tankathon later in the show for today's spin. Quite an afternoon here in Philadelphia, Hinkle, watching this game.
Yeah.
Man, this back-to-back matinee, they travel and everything. We were talking as soon as pregame ended. We were like, this could be like sort of an unhinged, entertaining game.
Yeah.
It's not as if either team has a ton to play for. Chicago is already eliminated. The Flyers well on their way, and the month of March has been ugly. Like when they get a point yesterday, it's like, this is one of the best games we've played in a month. It's like you weren't particularly good. You just didn't stink. But you see the way this one goes. We get some more offense out of TK and Michkov. Drysdale has a point or two, but my God, this was freaking ugly.
Remember that time when we were like, what if Ivan Fedotov might be good? That was a funny day that we had like a week and a half ago.
I want to get to Fedotov.
I know, I'm always jumping
in a little bit, but what I'll say is sometimes I'm just asking questions.
Someone's got to ask folks.
Someone has to ask Charlie, well, do you think there's a little something more there with Fedotov? And then he gets to look smart. And does that mean I look dumb? Sure. But it's important to ask these questions, people. And I think we got a pretty good answer today from Ivan Fedotov, who stopped 22 of 29. How
can one be so large and yet...
So few pucks hit him on such a regular basis. It's crazy.
So big.
I do want to, I want to lead off with the biggest positive of today. And it's another multi-point game for Matvei Michkov, the 15th of his rookie season. 2 assists in the first period for Michkov. That gives him 20 goals and 30 assists for 50 points in his rookie year, the most by a Flyers rookie since Michael Remberg. First Flyer to hit 50 points since Michael Remberg did in 93-94. And he is just moving on up this Flyers rookie scoring list, now tied with Mel Bridgman at
Flyers
50
great.
points.
Mel Bridgman.
See our only first overall pick?
Was he a first overall pick?
I feel like
I'm not going to pretend on this podcast that I know a single fact about Mel Bridgman.
I do believe that is the case. Yes, in 1975, somehow, the Flyers traded up to get the first pick.
It can be done.
Yes, it can be done.
We did it before.
They were the defending Stanley Cup champions and got the first
pick.
What
a wild time that must have been.
And took Mel Bridgman for their only first overall ever. And now Mish is tied with him with 50 points. Next up is Serge Bernier and Ron Sutter, 51. Andre Lacroix at 56. And then Pete Zezel at 60. With 10 games left, 60's not out of the realm of possibility.
He's getting to 60.
Like, you look at he does have, again, 15 multi-point games. He's playing with Travis Konecny, who suddenly can score again.
He remembered how.
It's possible. It's definitely possible to get to 60.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at the Bill Barber 64 and thinking, I don't know.
I mean, if he were to get to the Barber number.
Couple of, he had 2 points tonight.
He could. And maybe he has 2 points the whole rest of the way.
Yeah, who else is going to get points?
Just play him 20 minutes a night. See what happens. He plays 16:33 against Chicago. But it's good to see him picking up some points here. It's good to see TK getting on the board as well. We hit both of our bets for maybe the first time all season, Kelly. 2 days in a row.
In this game, no less.
2 days in a row, we've gone 100%. We had Michkov with at least 1 point. He ends up with 2. And we had an anytime goal for Travis Konecny. He now has goals in back-to-back games after a 13-game goalless drought.
Was it only 13? It felt like 150
yeah,
games.
he had 2 goals in like 30. It was ugly. It has been ugly for TK, but he finds the back of the net for a second consecutive game, and I am all for keeping this line together, if for no other reason than to just let these two pad their stats together.
Yeah,
the season doesn't matter, obviously.
Literally, the only thing I care about is Michkov padding his stats.
Yeah.
I don't care if they're garbage secondary assists. I don't care. I just want him getting points.
Absolutely.
All I care about.
That is really what matters at this point, is Michkov making a run here. I don't think he can win the Calder. Hudson and Celebrini had both already crossed.
Rough.
They've both already crossed the 50-point plateau. But just to be a finalist would be cool.
I will never forgive Rocky Thompson and John Tortorella for costing this kid the Calder. It's 100% on them. If he had been used in the way that Celebrini is used, he would 100% be like right there in the conversation. They wouldn't be able to just give it to Celebrini because he's a Canadian center. Like, they would have had to look at Michkov if we had, a bottom third power play.
Instead of bottom of the
Instead of the literal bottom. Like, if we were like bottom third, he would be right there. But no, these dorks had to ruin it for him to prove some kind of point, I guess.
Let's take a look at the power play, because they are now 0 for their last 31. And yes, they've done it. 0 for 30 in the month of March.
They got to go the whole month, right?
They have to. They can't get one now. I'll tell you, like, we talked about this on, what was it, Friday's show, where we had with you and Charlie.
Yeah.
And the numbers are even worse than they look overall, where they're 30th.
It's so funny.
And like 14%. Because they went 8 for 31 in their first 8 games.
Yeah.
They're over 25%, and they had averaged a power play goal a game through 8 games.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, since game 9, we are now game 72 was today. They're 11. Now they're under 11% because they've gone like 0 for 4 since then. It has been so bad. Like, the Isles, they are going to probably finish the season with like the worst power play anyone's seen, like, since they started tracking this stuff. Since October 27th, they're like a point better than the Flyers. That is how bad this thing has been. And, I joked on Twitter that, it's kind of impressive that they're only -1 in this time. They've given up 1 shorthanded goal in this 0 for 30 stretch. And, okay, that means something. But, the more I think about it, that's actually bad.
Well, it's not great.
No, the fact that they've only given up the 1 shorty, it means not only aren't they scoring.
Right.
But they're not trying anything creative or aggressive.
Oh, no.
That would result in if you don't accomplish it, they're going to take it down on a 2-on-0 the other way. Even if they were doing that, and they've given up, 7 shorthanded goals and they're 0 for 30, that looks bad that your power play is -7. But also, when they're so bad, and it's not just this month, it's 3-4 years of this, try something else. Do stuff. I don't know, put all 6 defensemen out there. Pull the goalie. Who cares? The fact that they're not trying anything even creative or aggressive or new that would result in a couple shorthanded goals against during this 0 for 30.
Great point.
It shows me that they're not even trying.
No,
that there is no coaching going on. Playing it safe on this power play, you can't score no matter what.
Yeah, safe to what?
Try something. Do a little bit. They had a couple of shots, and that's literally how we're judging them now. They had
some shots.
Yeah, they had a couple power plays today that weren't a disaster.
Yeah.
Did they score? Oh, no.
Let's not get crazy.
No.
No.
They didn't score. They just didn't completely embarrass themselves. They got it in the zone and had a shot or two.
A couple of passes.
Yeah.
That were completed.
It's like, yeah, they may have strung together 2-3 passes, but scoring a goal is so far out of the realm of possibility. That's not even how they're judged now.
No.
And when I see this only -1 in this time, I go, and that's why. Because they're not even trying stuff.
That's a really good point.
It's so easy to defend them.
They should be doing weird things because it doesn't matter in the sense that it literally cannot get worse. So
0 for 30.
Yeah. Throw out 5 guys on offense. Put Travis Sanheim out there. 5 defensemen.
Whatever.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Play Michkov for the entire 2 minutes. Like, what's going to happen? Are you not going to score a goal? Like, oh no.
Let Rocky go out there himself.
Yeah, take your shirt off and fight somebody on the ice, and then maybe they'll score a goal. Who could say? But yeah, it would be nice to see them because this is the opportunity when nothing matters anymore. And nothing you're doing is working anyway, just start throwing some stuff against the wall and see if anything sticks at all.
It's truly impressive. And when you look at the numbers overall, like we did the other day, 26 power play goals for the season. TK has a point on 16 of them. Michkov has a point on 15. Like, imagine what Misha's power play numbers, and we've had the comment the last couple days. Oh, it looks like TK is still going to get the 70 points.
Yeah.
Like, I realize this can't all be on Rocky. It is somewhat on Rocky, but
it's also on Torts.
Like it's Torts, and these players need to score. Like, I can't really put it on Mish because. Like, he's a 20-year-old rookie. He's trying to figure a lot of different things out.
And he's doing a lot of things with zero assistance from anyone.
The fact that he has the 30 assists this year on a team that, these 4 goals they scored today match their total from the previous 4 games combined. Like, the team has 0 offense. It's not as if, I really can't put that on Mish. But if the power play was just a little, not even good, just not terrible, he's running away with at least the rookie scoring race to the point, like you said. Yeah, maybe it's still Celebrini because he's playing the 20 minutes and there's this perception that he's playing good defense, even though he really isn't at all. But he's running away with the scoring race to a level of, we kind of got to give it to him, even if we, want to vote for the other guy.
Right. And it's entirely because of coaching malpractice, which is annoying because while it doesn't matter long term, it would have been cool.
And listen,
it would have been fun for us. It would have been cool for him.
It would be cool. It would be just one more thing to look forward to. And there's not going to be an award show this year.
Oh no!
They want to do the viral moments of guys showing up at the doorstep and stuff.
Oh, nothing works like a thing that you are trying to go viral on purpose. Yes. Those videos always go really well. They're never cringy and terrible.
Especially with
great idea.
I haven't seen a ton of Celebrini interviews. I don't know if he has a personality or anything.
He doesn't.
But none of them do. Like Connor Bedard.
We were talking about Bedard. He is a robot. There's nothing behind his eyes. There's no joy. He's just no thoughts, only hockey. No emotions, only sports. There's nothing going on. Because they beat it out of them when they're 14. And I can guarantee you Celebrini's the same way.
And when they show up at Nathan McKinnon's door with the Hart Trophy, it's not going to be an actual surprise.
No.
They're going to call him and be like, yo, are you home?
They set up the lighting.
Yeah,
they got the shots going.
It's going to be made to look like it was shot on a phone. But there's going to be a camera crew in his driveway.
And I'm sure that NHL hockey players are great actors. Yes. So Nathan McKinnon being
Nate did
what are you doing here?
Was it?
I'm eating spaghetti. I didn't want you to see that.
Yeah, they catch him with a Snickers bar. Right. And he knocks out the director. Was it Nate or Landeskog that did Trailer Park Boys? Which one?
I think it had to be Nate, Matt, because he's from Nova Scotia.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. It was Nate.
And listen, it's not as if that's a show with the world's greatest actors to begin with.
No,
but
however,
I guess he does have some acting experience.
He's got an IMDb profile, I guess.
As Nathan McKinnon, but still, it'll just be. It would have been cool, but I think we can pretty much chalk up, despite the 50 points. I think NHL PR put out he's the Michkov becomes the fastest Flyers rookie to 50 points since Renberg. Well, he's the only Flyers rookie to 50 points since Renberg.
Yeah.
But sure, I guess both work.
take
Listen, before we go any further, I got to take a quick second to tell you about a couple of our sponsors. Got to lead it off with our friends at Rothman Orthopedics, because at Rothman Orthopedics, if you have aching joints or cramping hands or your back's out of whack, Rothman's got you. And at Rothman Orthopedics, they've been practicing specialized care, and it's been their passion for over 50 years. Their mission, it's high-quality, compassionate, and affordable care rooted in research leading to new treatments and better outcomes, because each Rothman doc is laser-focused on their specialty. Whether it's hip, knee, spine, you name it, they have a specialist right in your neck of the woods at all times, wherever you are. There's so many locations, and they have so many amazing teams of doctors that you can get taken care of so you can get back to your specialty, because they're Rothman Orthopedics, and they specialize in orthopedics and you. So visit rothmanortho.com/PHLY to learn more and make your appointment today. And now I have to tell you about one of our newest partners here. It is our friends at Monarch Money. That's right. Listen, I think we've had enough finance-related sponsors over the last couple of years that most of our audience, they have to know that I'm not the most responsible spender. I love going out to restaurants. I love going to games and concerts and events. And when you're doing those things, you're having fun. You can have a tendency to let your budget get away from you a little bit. And that's why Monarch Money has become such an important part of my financial planning and daily life. Listen, finances, they can be messy and confusing, to say the least, right? Well, Monarch Money acts like your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control so you can stop simply earning and start growing. Monarch is more than your average budgeting app. Monarch Money is a complete financial command center for your accounts, investments, and goals, so you can start managing your finances to build the life you actually want. You can track all your spending, savings, and investments effortlessly with all your accounts, credit cards, and everything you need to take control of your budget in one place. And those are just a few of the reasons Monarch Money was named Wall Street Journal's best budgeting app of 2025. So get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money. Use code PHLY at monarchmoney.com for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code PHLY. Yeah, I think between the early perception of, okay, Michkov, he's scoring, and then all of a sudden, Torts had to scratch him. He's just not. He's just not doing what we need him to do out there. He's not, there's just reasons for these things, and there have been some benchings along the way, plus the absolutely inept power play.
Yeah.
The Calder is out of the question, but with 10 games to go, he does give us a reason to continue watching and see if he can maybe pull off a Michigan in this in these final 10 games. That would be fun, right?
Knock Bill Barber off his throne.
Just try to
Mark
get
Recchi did.
15 points in the final 10 games. It's doable,
why
right?
not?
Yeah. I mean, if you're asking him to play defense in these last 10 games, why?
You should be fired on the spot.
He shouldn't have to
Don't
cross.
say the word defense to that child one time.
He shouldn't have to cross the defensive side of the red line unless it is absolutely necessary.
No, he should be standing.
Yeah.
Right.
Chilling at the blue line.
Yes, exactly. Waiting for an outlet pass to go and score a goal. That should be his only job.
I remember it was the second year of Vinny LeCavalier, and I'm up at the press box, and I'm just seeing how they're using him, and he was just so slow and couldn't do it anymore. That on breakouts, it was like, he's not circling back, he's not even at the red line. He would just be on the far blue line trying to stretch the defense a little. Like that was all he did, and let's use Michkov like that for the last 10 games. All right, it is now time for our Ace Hardware temperature check. Let's take a look at which flyer is heating up or cooling off with our Ace Hardware temp check. Visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project. Yeah, we got to talk about Ivan Fedotov. Talk about cooling off, Hinkle.
Frozen like an ice.
Coming into the weekend.
My brain turned off.
His air conditioning, honestly, it's working too well.
Pumping.
It is working far too well. There's going to be an issue. He's going to need air. He's going to need Ace Hardware to take a look at that real soon. Coming into the weekend, he had a .920 save percentage in the month of March. His numbers had actually improved a bit to the point that they were marginally better than Sam Erson's. And then in the last two games, so he stops 1 out of 3 in the first period, gets pulled yesterday, gets his shot at redemption, and allows 7 goals. So he has now allowed 9 goals on the last 32 shots he's faced. So what is his save percentage this weekend? It would be, I forgot to add this up. So 23 divided by 32, 719.
Oh, is that,
honestly,
is that good?
I expected it to be a little lower.
I mean, we were working with 500 there for a minute, so you know,
a 719 save percentage this weekend for Ivan Fedotov. Yeah, so the idea of there being a little more, the idea of there maybe being a little more there and coming back with him next year,
I don't know about
think
that.
that's out of the question at this point.
Literally, all he has to do is stand there and be large.
But I just want to know now.
So much net to shoot at.
Not only do they pull him after 3 shots and 20 minutes yesterday, but today Torts goes, no, I'm not doing this again, and hangs him out to dry for the full 7 goals.
So what's interesting is, if I recall correctly, after yesterday's game, Torts said that he leaves the goalie pool decisions to Kim. Dilly, as he said. I believe he said he leaves the goalie pool decisions to Dilly, which, I don't believe, because I don't even know where where is he, upstairs? Like, just hanging out? I don't even know where he lives during the games. Did they, like, call him on a cell phone at home?
I can see him.
I don't know.
I could see him maybe being, like being up with the coaches upstairs and moving around.
So
down in the locker room at intermission.
I don't know how much I believe that it's not a John Tortorella call to pull goaltenders, but I do kind of think that the thought process today was, oh no, bro, you're sitting in this.
Yeah, we did it to you yesterday.
You're doing this. Yeah, we gave you some mercy yesterday. Today, no, you're not getting any.
I was a little surprised. Like, I thought
we would see Erson.
I thought if they got out of the first period with the lead, he'd still be in. But then it's 3-3 after the first. I was like, yeah, it's not happening. He's coming out. And then when he goes back in to start the second, I went, oh, okay, so they're making him wear it. And they sure did to the tune of 7 goals. So my question now is, it's not even about next year. I don't think there's a chance in hell he's back next year, at least in this role. Maybe he clears waivers and they send him to the AHL. I don't know.
Something tells me he would clear Bill.
Yeah. Oh, who's claiming him at that price with these numbers? But 10 games left, only 1 back-to-back. It is April 12th and 13th versus the Isles and then at the Senators. Do you think there is a chance we see 9 out of 10 of these remaining games go to Sam Ersson?
Yes.
Do you think there's a chance it's not Fedotov in that other game? Like, what if it's... Maybe not Kolosov, but what if it's Konecny? What if it's Cal Peterson?
So, I mean, like, are you going to use your final call-up on a goaltender? Unless, like, maybe you can have one of them fake an injury, and then it could be an emergency call-up, and then it's not a problem. But I as we've said 1,000 times, to what end? Like,
to give someone else a game, I don't know.
I want to see Grebby.
One more. I would like to see Grebenkin on this team as well.
Bring me Grebby.
Especially considering like what we're seeing some of these other guys in the bottom 6 do. Like, I don't know, if Owen Tippett is just going to be getting 4th line minutes, you know what? Thanks for your service. We'll see you next year, Tippett. Bring up Grebenkin to take his spot in the lineup.
Yeah, why not?
Let's say he's still hurt from whatever he was out with.
Sure.
And
shoulder
bring up
problem.
bring up Grebenkin to take Tippett's
upper
spot.
Body ailment.
I'm pretty much good on Tippett. And
I know enough of him today.
I don't need him padding his goal number to get to like 25 in the last 6 games, And then it wasn't even that bad. He had 27, 28 the last 2 years. No, you know what? Well, let's stop you before you hit 20.
Yeah. No.
And you can make up for it next year if you still have it in you. Yeah, bring up Cal Peterson. Why not?
What's Cal Pete up to?
Let's get Cal Peterson in some of these games, honestly. This might be the end of his career at this point.
Can we send... no, we can't send Fedotov down. He would have had to be on the AHL roster to play in the playoffs.
He is ineligible for the playoffs.
Yeah, it stinks. Would have liked to see him get lit up by some quad A guys.
Yeah, by the Utica Comets or something. Exactly. So that's I'm really interested to see if they just go, we're done with this. And then where the Fedotov thing goes from here, because it's like he's 29 next season, I think in like November.
Yeah.
And I really thought maybe there was a chance. He's coming around. He's finally got, he had like 20 starts.
Yeah.
How can you really judge a goalie through 20 games of their career? But you do just have a limited time with him because like he's of an age that, okay, what are we, developing a 32-year-old goalie still,
No.
Like that's not really a thing that happens. He's either got to be good right away or this is it. With another year left on his contract, this comes down to a mutual termination, right? Like, that's how this ends. Both sides are like, hey, we're going to send you to the ECHL. And he's like, yeah, I want to go back to Russia then. Well, yeah, Russia.
I mean, probably. Although, they could just send him to the Phantoms.
They could. I mean, next year, I think a lot depends on...
Is Konecny signed?
I don't think so.
I don't think he is either. So you could just do Kohli Fedotov down there. See how that goes.
I think it depends on, because Bjarnason is going to turn pro.
Oh, that's right.
And it'll probably, maybe it depends on like, well, if Kolosov thinks he's better off going back to Belarus or whatever, he doesn't want to spend next year in Lehigh.
Yeah, I've had enough of him too.
Whatever. Bye. Like, I guess maybe then you go Bjarnason Fedotov in the AHL, I suppose, because Cal Peterson's contract is up.
We're done with the Cal Peterson.
We are done with the Cal Peterson fun experiment. I can't imagine, though, this goes any other way unless it is, Kolosov ain't coming back. Like, that might be the X factor here.
It could be, yeah. But, mutual termination feels like the way to do it. Like, listen, bud, we'll just give you the money. Just go.
I really thought that's the way it was going around, like, Christmas.
It seemed that way.
He got benched for a month.
Yeah.
And it was like... They're trying to get him to say, I want to go home. And then both sides just kind of wash their hands of things. He goes back to the KHL where he's had a decent career and, doesn't affect our cap at all.
Kudos to him for not being a baby about it, unlike some people.
Yeah, I'm just very interested to see what direction this goes because you can't bring him back.
No.
You can't.
Oh, no.
Ersson, he's not having the best year either. It's not like, oh, well, Ersson. But I do think he has a role in the NHL, and he's young enough that he could still continue to develop.
And there's a lot of sunk costs there, and how Flyers love.
You took the time to develop him this far. You keep checking. You keep seeing what's possible with Ersson. But, Fedotov just isn't good. He had a nice little run. He's had a couple of nice little runs this year. But he simply doesn't appear to be an NHL goaltender.
It would have been cool if he was.
That would be a fun story.
Because it would have been a fun story. And there did seem to be like little baby flashes from time to time where you thought like, okay, maybe something's there if they just give him some time to work it out. But it's clearly not there. Like we tried. He got some money. Movie would have been great.
No, movie's
really still pretty good. I'd still watch it.
I really look at this as like this is a better movie to me than Invincible. Absolutely, it is. Like one, that movie stinks. You can't make a movie. You can't make a Disney movie about the Philadelphia fan base. Like that's insane.
No, it doesn't work.
Like, we're drunk assholes. Like Sorry, Bryn. See, that's the problem. That's the problem right there.
We cannot be controlled.
But like he gets drafted in the 7th round. He eventually seems, okay, we're bringing this guy over. And then instead of coming over, he's under arrest for evasion of military service. He's on a freaking, battleship or whatever.
In Siberia.
In God knows where. And then suddenly he's back in the KHL. He's pretty decent. He wins the, what's their thing called? It's not the Grey Cup. That's Canada football.
That's Canada football. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, it's like the Zvragan Cup or something. That's like the name of our goalie. So it's not that.
The Michkov Cup.
Yeah, the Michkov.
Yeah.
And then eventually we do get to bring him over, and he plays in some NHL games like right away, like borrowed pads or something. Like it's a great story, but I fear that it has met its end.
Me too.
Like this is.
I think it's clear.
Yeah. Maybe one more game this year. And I know that we're doing the recency bias thing that Charlie hates after,
Are we though?
3 days ago going, well, maybe there's something more there. But
no, we're dealing with the new facts.
Yeah, there's just more
Charlie,
data now.
Even though you're not here saying this to us, I'm still yelling at you. No, we have new information now. It's pretty clear. He just ain't it. I mean, it doesn't really matter what we do with him. He can't play for the Flyers next year. That's it.
It's truly it's a waste of time. All right. Even though Charlie isn't here, I do want to hit Charlie O'Connor's 3 stars of the game
in his honor,
presented by Rite Aid. That's right. Our friends at Rite Aid sponsor Charlie O'Connor's 3 stars. So even when he isn't here, we still have 3 stars. Let's go with star number 3. It is going to be Jamie Drysdale.
He was good today.
Yeah, a goal and an assist. He ends up +1 in 20 minutes and 14 seconds. Couple of shots, a block. He is the Flyers' leading goal scorer in the month of March with 4, breaking his tie with Ryan Poehling today. He gets the assist on basically the same play he gets his goal on. He shot with TK kind of crashing the net. The assist hits TK. The goal hits the defenseman in front. So he gets a couple of points like that, just getting pucks on net. That's great. Jamie Drysdale, star number 3. Star number 2, it's going to be another Flyer. It's going to be Matvei Michkov. He crosses the 50-point mark his rookie year. Absolutely deserving of a star today, because this is what we're here to do, is talk about Matvei. Most points by a Flyers rookie. First Flyer to hit 50 since Renberg in 94. We're going to go Michkov, and
I like it.
I am a little tempted to give star number 1 to
Pat Maroon.
I was going to say the Buffalo Sabres.
Oh, yeah.
But it is going to be Pat Maroon. It's going to be Pat Maroon today getting the first star of the game, because I just really talk about a good story. This guy, Flyers draft him, I believe, in the 6th round, and he spends some time playing some roller hockey and some lower ice hockey leagues, and he has a goal and an assist against Philly today. This is very funny. 9 goals and 19 points in 24 games against the Flyers. This is a huge number for a guy who's a fourth
not
liner.
A guy. Yeah,
you know?
right, exactly.
19 points in 24 games against the Flyers. The most he has against any other team, and when you break it down per game, he has 18 points against the Sharks in, I think, 31 games. So even a team that he's like played against and scored a ton for him against, Flyers still take the cake. And you look at the story of kind of what happened with Pat Maroon here. So in the summer of 2010, Maroon leads the men's national inline hockey team to a gold medal at the 2010 IIHF Inline Hockey World Championships. And then he goes back to the AHL after like a standout performance in this inline tournament. They don't like the shape he's in. They don't like his commitment.
Everyone's always making fun of him for being chunky. Leave him alone.
And then he just gets sent home. His agent tried like saying, what if you just send him to the ECHL, or maybe you loan him to a Swiss team? But the Flyers are like, no, and we're not giving up his rights. So then they eventually trade him after he's practicing with Montclair State men's hockey. They eventually trade him November 2010 to Anaheim, and that is where his career begins as this guy who, there were some ups and downs, and did he ever like become a scorer or anything in this league? No, but he's won some cups. He's been on some really good teams, and you got to believe if there was a 24-year-old Pat Maroon available right now, Danny Briere and John Tortorella and Keith Jones would be convincing. Like if he was in our prospect pool right now, they'd be convincing us like they are with Hunter McDonald. Like we need this guy.
100%.
Is he a star? No. But he does score a little. You know, he's got the size. He's got the physicality. They would love having this guy in the prospect. And it's just another one of those, man. And listen, he was immature. He did have problems staying in shape and stuff. But like, yeah, man, that's what happens when you draft 18 and 19-year-olds. Sometimes children are immature.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Like, I'm 36. I'm immature.
Sometimes they go to Sea Isle and they have fun with their friends. Yeah. We don't need to trade them for it.
Like, just the number of guys that like, he is more one of the like gave up on too soon sort of guys than the other players we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
Like, Yeah, Justin Williams, but his problem was like kept getting hurt, and we're trying to win a cup now, you know?
Yeah.
Patrick Sharp, he just hadn't broken out. Like you gave up on him too soon, but it's not like he didn't get a chance.
Well,
it just never happened.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, he can't play center, so screw him. Like, well, can he play wing? Oh, he can.
Yeah.
But like this is just one of those dudes, like they sent him home. They're like, no, you're done. You're done.
I can see why he would maintain a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. Like you were like, no, you're not going to play for us, but also we're not going to like play for anybody else. So go home and have fun, bud. Like that's not very nice.
No, yes.
Although we should have done that to Cutter because it would have been funny.
It would have been funny, but the problem is you eventually lose the rights of a drafted unsigned player.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Got to get something for a guy.
But yeah, Patrick Maroon, 3-time cup winner. Patrick Maroon.
And every time they were like, you know what it was? Pat Maroon. That's what you needed. You needed a Pat Maroon on your fourth line and put you over the top.
Pat Maroon won 3 straight cups. His first one with his hometown St. Louis Blues, and then the 2 straight with Tampa after that. So Pat Maroon, the individual that we sent home, has more cups than the Flyers franchise ever since 1967. That's fun stuff.
Does Dan Carcillo also have more? Or he only has 2, doesn't he?
Did Carcillo get 2?
He only got 2, I think.
I don't know. Let's check that real quick. 1-time cup winner.
Oh, only 1.
He won
with
Chicago in 12-13. He's then on the Rangers in 14 when they beat us in the playoffs. Right. But he was only on that one Chicago team. So yeah. But that's you love Carcillo still him. Because of your your mustache account.
He's a fun player.
He was
nice guy.
He was
tries hard, loves the game.
He was a fun player. Man, I like the Pat Maroon story too. I think it's cool for him. Before we go, it would make a decent movie, especially just with the way the Flyers are. All right, before we go any further, though, I have to tell you about our friends at Ace Hardware. Whenever Ace Hardware Home Services gets ready for the next job, they remember what to bring. That's right. They bring experience. They're local plumbers and techs that handle everything from repairs and seasonal maintenance to installations and upgrades. They bring understanding. They listen to your goals, and the job isn't completed until you're satisfied. And they bring helpful. They bring helpful to your home so you can spend more of your time on the projects that really matter. Free estimates on equipment installation and replacement with trusted advisors and options that are best suited for your home and budget. And it's service you can trust, and satisfaction is always guaranteed. Ace Hardware Home Services, they're local as well. Their teams live and serve in your community and are dedicated to keeping their neighbors comfortable in their home. So visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project. And while we're here, why don't I tell you about our friends at Rite Aid? That's right. Help protect yourself from pneumonia. Adults age 50 and older now eligible for the pneumonia vaccine. You can also get all of your allergy needs at Rite Aid. That's right. Spring allergies occur between early February and last into early summer. So we are right in the middle of it right now. Pollen from trees, grasses, and weeds, primary cause of seasonal allergies. As things are starting to heat up, we're starting to see things grow. That wind has really been blowing. I know my allergies have been out of control a few days. I have all the symptoms: sneezing, headaches, cough, dark circles under the eyes. Yeah, I'm going to blame the circles under the eyes on my allergies as well. And how can you get relief? Well, sign up for Rite Aid Rewards emails at riteaid.com/rewards to receive email allergy alerts for your area. You can use a dehumidifier in your home. Dust mites and mold thrive in humid environments. You can kill that with a dehumidifier. Shower frequently to get the pollen off of you. Keep your windows closed and run your air conditioner when necessary. Wear a mask when gardening. That's been a big one for me. If I'm out doing yard work, got to wear that mask. And there are over-the-counter options available at Rite Aid as well, like a nasal rinse and things of that nature. Also, nasal corticosteroids. Check them out all at Rite Aid. That's right. It's our friends at Rite Aid. And make appointments at riteaid.com. Oh, man, this team is... Can you believe that we're finally to the final 10? Or does it feel as if 10 is still a huge number?
It feels both. Like, oh, thank God it's only 10. And also, oh, my God, it's 10. Because it's 10 and it's like somehow 3 weeks.
Yeah,
It
because
seems like
that's after this month ends. There's a
they stretch them out.
They really start to stretch them out. Like looking at the remaining schedule this month, they're at the Leafs Tuesday, back home against the Habs, then back home against the Sabres, home against the Preds. Before that's the last day. That's home against the Predators is March 31st. Then they don't play again until April 5th at the Habs. That's the game we're going to be at, and then another few days off, the April 9th at the Rangers, and then home again for the 12th. Like it's really spread out in that first 2 weeks of in that first 2 weeks of April.
Really drag it out for us.
It does. This could easily be over by April 4th if they wanted it to be. But it does feel like a ton, but I'm still kind of interested to see how TK and Michkov finish the season. Can Drysdale keep this going? Is there any one thing that you're like, okay, this is what I'm looking for in these final 10? It's Mish, right?
Yeah, I just want him to get as many points as possible. I mean, Drysdale is one of the few actual bright spots over the back quarter of the season. So it would be cool to see him just continue to be good, score points, do stuff. That's nice. But I mean, honestly, it's just there's nothing we're playing for. We just have to play these games because they're on the schedule.
That's what it comes down to.
So I would just like to not have to watch terrible hockey. Just entertain me a little bit. At least today we got to see a whole bunch of goals.
It would be nice if we could see some interesting hockey. Maybe there's a brawl in there. Maybe Buffalo and Philly in one of these last couple games are like, no, we want the fourth
We're
pick.
going to be the losers.
And they just absolutely beat the crap out of each other. And with that, let's get to today's Tankathon spin.
Hey-o.
That's right. It's time for the main event. Buffalo remains just a few percentage points behind the Flyers, but they do have the games in hand.
We're going to get them.
We have the head-to-head meetings, so that fourth spot is still very much possible for lottery odds. But as of now, Flyers remain in fifth. We'll see how today's spin goes. Brenna, spin that wheel. All right, we bring it up. And they fall to sixth again. Maybe we're getting all of these out of the way.
That's what I'm saying.
With the amount of times that they have fallen.
We're taking them out of the possible results lottery-wise because I feel like that's how statistics work. And so, obviously, on lottery day, much better odds.
Yes.
We're removing these bad spins.
Yeah, even though I don't think that the... I don't know how anything works. We need Charlie here to explain math.
The way that they do the lottery is so confusing to me.
I don't understand it.
There's a certain number of balls that each team gets, and
it's a combinations of numbers.
But there has to be a combination of balls. I don't. Can't you just pick names out of a hat?
It just seems like if you had one of those big things and you just pull out one, that should be enough.
Yes.
That should be enough. Not we need a sample size of 20 million with all these programs. Just do the thing. That would just be much more interesting.
I think so. Much more fun to watch too than just Bill Daly with those stupid cards.
It absolutely would be a ton more fun to watch. Listen, before we get to all the super chats, I think we have a few that have come in today. I want to talk about the inaugural Gaudreau Family 5K Fun Run and Family Day. This is going to be an awesome time. Saturday, May 31st, and it is going to be at Washington Lake Park in Sewell. That's Washington Township, Sewell, not real Sewell, just for everyone out there. But
no idea what that means.
It's the town I grew up in is Sewell. Washington Township is a totally different town, but they use our post office. So their mailing address is Sewell.
Gotcha.
Sewell's not really a real place. It's 3 different towns. It's a whole thing.
I understand.
But it's in Washington Township at Washington Lake Park, 8 a.m. to noon on Saturday, May 31st. The Gaudreau family really just carrying on Johnny's legacy as well as Matt, who both lost their lives, and trying to do as much good in this terrible situation from last summer as they can. Kelly, I think you have a few more details for us.
Yeah, so we have, Broad Street Hockey and PHLY Flyers have set up a team. So if you register for the race, you can also choose to join our team, non-competitive, non-timed 5K team, because we know what we do here. And so that'll be super fun if you're able to make it. We have also started a fundraiser through the site there. So if you go to the site, you can see that there are fundraisers set up. So there's a BSH and PHLY fundraiser. We've already raised like $315 from you guys, which is awesome. So if you can't come out to the 5K, but you want to contribute a little bit, you can go to the race sign up page and just contribute through the fundraiser. So lots of cool stuff. I think it's going to be a really good day.
I think it is going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be a great community event as well. The Gaudreau family, we've seen them all over the place from Calgary games, Columbus games, the Four Nations. We've seen Guy at Flyers practices. It's been really cool the way the hockey world has tried to stay connected with the Gaudreau family and the Gaudreau family getting out there and trying to keep the legacy of their sons alive. And it's really cool. And it's going to be a great event. Yeah. Saturday, May 31st. Come on out. Sign up. We're going to tweet out the link probably after today's show, but you can see it on the Broad Street Twitter, and it's been on ours. So make sure you're following us there as well. I do want to talk for a second about Owen Tippett.
Do we have to?
I guess. 12:38 today in his new fourth line role, whatever they're using him. They mixed up the lines a little at the end because who cares? But plays 12:38 is -1, 2 shots on goal. As big of a deal, and I said this in pregame, like as big of a deal as we made about TK's drought. Like he hasn't scored since. Oh no, this is backwards. Okay, got to go back to the top. Hasn't scored since March 8th. It's been a while, as you like to say. But really, since those first few games out of Four Nations, has not done much. No. And just a down year.
Yeah, on the whole.
Are we going to chalk it up to a bad year, or is this like, ooh, that contract was a mistake?
All depends on next year, dude. Like, if he bounces back, cool, we're good. He just had a bad year. Everybody has a bad year. If he starts slow again, or if he goes through another 20-game goalless drought or something, like, it's going to be concerning because we're stuck with him.
And that gets to the point of, ooh, now you're stuck.
Yeah, like because you're not getting rid of him if he stinks.
If he never got any better than he was the last couple of years, it's like, okay, you can afford this, and that's a very tradable contract.
Yeah.
But if it becomes a Joel Farabee situation where it's like, oh no, 5 is too much, where, 5, that's about right. And if he ever gets better, it's a bargain.
Right.
That's kind of what I felt about the Tippett contract. And now it's, you're not going to be able to move that if this is who he is.
No, he can't be this. Like, if he was last year, that would be like, all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I can live with the 27 and 28.
But he cannot be this. And ideally, he's better than last year. Because that's, I think, what we were all hoping for, that we would see a step forward with him. And we saw the exact opposite.
He needs to be 30 to 35 baseline.
Yeah.
And then the big year, like the breakout year, is better than that. But we can only just cross our fingers that next year and going forward is better. But not an awesome first year. There we go. Steve with the been a while. We always drop it even when you're not on, Kelly. We do it for you.
I know.
All right.
It's Steve's thing, so.
Brenna, let's hit those super chats. We have a few today to get to, starting with our pal, JH. And JH, just good job, Ivan. And we do.
The tank
commander. I think we must salute a great tank performance from Ivan Fedotov. I guess that is the one circumstance under which he's back next year. Like, I think they want to try some stuff this offseason.
Yeah.
I think they want to try to get better. But as we know, trades are hard, and it takes 2 to get the job done. If Danny's out there trying to be aggressive, but there just isn't anything, could they just go, you know what, Gavin McKenna, that sounds like a great reason to bring back Ivan Fedotov.
Yes, but I mean, also, like, there is a world in which they do some stuff this summer and take some incremental steps towards being a more complete hockey team and still aren't that good. Because as we've said 1,000 times, it's supposed to be the 2026 summer when they really hit it. So, like, they could, go out and get some guys this year, and maybe that makes them a little bit better. But I don't think that anyone's under the assumption that they're going to be competing for a Stanley Cup next year.
Definitely
that seems
not.
Very unlikely. So, maybe you just
definitely not
let
likely.
the tall guy keep driving the tank.
It really, I think, yes, they might be able to make some incremental moves. It's really about, does Michkov become a point-a-game player next year? Like if he suddenly is the
He's
driving,
gonna ruin our tank.
if he suddenly is the driving force behind the offense,
Right.
well then, all right, there's nothing you can do about that team. Get like, what? Oh,
No.
well, I wish he wasn't as good.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. I can't wait to see people complaining about that.
Yeah, Michkov's killing our tank.
Come on.
Like you kind of need him to be awesome. Like that was
kind of the whole thing.
one of the points I made in our pregame conversation with CHGO. There's a little bit of frustration with Bedard in Chicago because he didn't really take a step. Kind of the same production as last year. Do you think next year there's a world in which, Michkov's good, but we kind of needed you to be a superstar, bud, and people start to maybe get a little frustrated if he doesn't become a point-a-game player?
The only way that happens is if John Tortorella is intentionally hampering it from happening again.
When I hear Charlie say things like, oh, I expect him to be like an 80, 90-point player next year.
Charlie.
Like, it's Charlie. It's not me or you.
No.
Because
we're crazy.
I expect him to have 150.
Yeah.
So, and like Charlie's, he's like a 60-point guy. Like, if Charlie goes, I'm kind of expecting him to be in the 80s. I have a reason to believe that's true.
Me too.
Simply because he's not a hyperbolic guy. When I exaggerate stuff, Charlie's like, well, not really.
If anything, I feel like Charlie is conservative because he doesn't want to be seen as like a crazy fan anymore. So, that means 150 confirmed.
150.
If Charlie's saying 90, 150
it's going to be McDavid, Kucherov, Michkov, any order. Top 3 in Hart Trophy voting.
Sounds right.
That's, I think, what I'm expecting at least. All right, from Corey. Corey says, giving up a touchdown to the second worst team in the league. It's not what you want, as Joe Girardi likes to say. It's not what you want. It is funny that this is the game they come out, and it's a great way to give back like the performance you had against the Jets and stuff like that. The loser point yesterday. It's like when you look at the schedule, it's like, okay, well, how can they fall further in the standings and improve their lottery odds? Oh, come on. We beat Tampa. We beat the Jets. What are we doing? All right, we gave it back in one of those games that we were supposed to win.
Yes.
Or at least like would be favored in, at Bet365,
This was a good tank game.
You give it back. And on the other end, Buffalo beats
the Jets,
the best team in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
Like that, it's a big day. So it is
doing work.
Overall, you probably don't want to lose 7-4 to Chicago. In the short term, it's nice. Like, it does help our efforts in terms of trying to get the 4th best lottery odds.
Exactly.
And as we're seeing, yes, it is a lottery, so it's like there's no guarantee. But as your odds of moving down are basically just as good as they are staying the same. We've seen that. 4, if you drop to 5 or 6, you still end up with that great. You still end up with a really good player.
Yes.
Top 4 is like, okay, these are the can't miss guys. Maybe they're not generational.
And the odds to win the lottery are real good.
They are. It's like 10%, I think, for the once you're in that 4 spot.
When you get up to 4, it's pretty good.
So I'm just hoping they can finish this strong. And by strong, I mean tanking.
Exactly.
Because the opponents, on Tuesday with the Leafs. All right.
I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. Like the goaltending, what it is right now, I don't think they have a choice. Like they're just gonna lose a whole bunch of these games because the goalies stink.
And this end of season schedule that I thought was pretty soft a few weeks ago. Like, okay, the Leafs, but then the Habs, Sabres, Preds, Habs, Rangers, Isles. Like, Leafs, they're a good team. Habs, they are fighting for a playoff spot. These games matter to them. Sabres, who the hell knows? Preds, they stink.
Yes.
But then Habs again, Rangers and Isles are fighting to get in. Sens are looking for playoff seeding. Columbus still thinks they have a chance. They're just trying. They play hard every game. And then the Sabres to close the season. It's really doable.
It's
this
100%
doable,
doable.
Hanks. So while again,
they can't get to
maybe
3 though,
maybe
right?
don't give up 7 to the Blackhawks, but it's helping the efforts
whatever
right
it takes
now. All right, this next one here from JH says, I'm once again asking what blackmail Rocky has.
Maybe he's just such a sweet boy that everybody loves him and doesn't want to make him sad.
Maybe he knows the assignment and he's trying to undo Like Tortorella makes you play hard every game, makes you defend well. And he is the only one who actually realizes what needs to be done.
There's a non-zero chance that Danny Briere and Keith Jones are up there going, you know what? It doesn't need to be better.
You're following the assignment because while it is disappointing, especially like you look at Misha's numbers and it's like, you know what wouldn't have happened? He wouldn't have had that 27 game stretch where he had like 6 or 7 points and then he's not like out of at least contention to actually win the Calder because if you pick up cheap assists and stuff on the power play, like maybe that wouldn't have happened, but also maybe we win 5-6 more games and suddenly we are once again looking at
8,
a Luchenko level prospect rather than a Misa or Higgins or Schaefer or whoever. Yeah, just wouldn't it be great if we just like things just went our way?
Come on. One time.
What if they just get the first or second pick?
One time, Gary.
Mel Bridgman, they got it. They got it the one time. Yeah. It's doable.
I'm not talking about 2017 ever again in my life.
No, that didn't count.
I don't know.
That's the rough one though for me because they finished the season on one of those like, oh, they won all these games and suddenly we're picking 13th. They screwed themselves. And then they jumped from 13 to 2, which you can't even do anymore.
No.
You can only move up 10 spots. But I was like, we got rewarded for karma. We did right, and we're being rewarded for it rather than tanking. We respected the game. And then everyone is a star, and the guy we got ain't even in the league. He's never going to play.
Cool.
It's unfreaking believable. But
I just don't. That's why I don't want number 2.
All right, JH, for the swear jar, I did it again. I don't think that one's as bad as the F word I dropped on. I had 2 amateurs with me on Monday.
I have to say, that show was so entertaining.
It was good.
I would fire me and hire Frank and other guy.
We will not be hiring those two.
I don't know other guys.
Frank and Mike.
Mike,
yeah.
Sorry. Brenda did tell me that and I forgot.
Yeah. We will not be hiring Frank and Mike. We will definitely not be firing you. But I did think the show, I thought it was great. I thought it was going to suck.
No,
it was way better than expected.
It was really good.
But I am, of course, the one who swore, not the 2 guys who've never done, a professional broadcast before. Of course.
Whatever.
All right. But thank you, JH, for the swear jar contribution. Another one here. Oh, no, this is Gary B. Hey, Bill and Kelly. Hinks, any recommendations for bars in Toronto? I'm going to the game Tuesday and leave tomorrow. That's fun.
So it's been a while since I've been to Toronto, but I can tell you that one of the best days of my life began on a sailboat and ended at the Loose Moose in Toronto, which is still there. So go to the Loose Moose. I guarantee a good time.
I love it. Loose Moose. That's great.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to this last super chat here from, what's that say? Hockey Dennis 28. Possible we see Jet with the Flyers or Phantoms before the end of the year. I think it's very possible he's with the Phantoms.
I feel like the Phantoms are the ones that are gonna. I honestly would kind of like to see him go play in the playoffs.
Yeah. It probably
don't come up here with this loser energy.
Isn't for the worst. And yeah, I mean, the locker room in a different place than it was with Cutter.
Yeah.
But who the hell knows? I do think
I want to see Grebby up here just because I want to see. Let Jet go play in the playoffs, and then we'll see him next year.
I want to get. Would he be, because he wasn't on the roster at the deadline, so I
think it's different for CHL
different?
Guys. I don't know. It's so complicated. This is where we need Charlie.
Yeah,
there's so many rules. There's a whole agreement.
All right.
I don't know.
I am going to figure all this out for Tuesday's show.
Perfect.
I promise that next week we will know who's eligible to do what. It's honestly, it's poor planning on my part. All right, we're going to overtime. Head to allphly.com to keep watching. Yeah, it's overtime. But
it's overtime.
It's overtime. That's it. That is all the time we have for you on PHLY Flyers Postgame presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use code PHLY365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. We are off tomorrow, but we'll be back with pre- and post-game on Tuesday. Make sure you're following us right here on YouTube and set that reminder bell so you never miss a live show. Follow the Twitter at PHLY_Flyers and follow the podcast wherever you get those. Just search PHLY Flyers. All right, I am Bill Matz. That is Kelly Hinkle. Until Tuesday, let's go Tank.
We all silly like the mayor.